สบายดีทุกท่านยินดีต้อนรับเข้าสู่รายการความรู้สู่ความบันเทิงเย้สบายดีอีกครั้งเนาะท่านผู้ฟังทุกท่านมื้อนี้1ชั่วโมงนับจากนี้ไปอยู่กับข้าพเจ้าดีเจดาดาลเพชรแสงสุริวงศ์มาพร้อมกับสโลแกนประจำตัวดาเอิ้นดาก็ได้มารายงานตัวกันแล้ว1ชั่วโมงนี้เป็น1ชั่วโมงแห่งค่ำคืนของวันพุธเนาะอากาศเย็นลมนี่เย็นซอยๆได้สัมผัสได้ถึงความแบบความฤดูหนาวกำลังมาแล้วมื้อนี้ดีเจด้ามานี่บ่ได้มาผู้เดียวมาพร้อมกับแขกรับเชิญของเฮาแขกรับเชิญเฮามื้อนี้นี่มาไกลหลายเพิ่นมาพูดตั้งแต่ออสเตรเลียมาหาเฮาในมื้อนี้เฮาจะมาล้มกันถึงหัวข้อที่ว่ากำลังเป็นว่าเป็นที่สนใจของหลายๆคนในสังคมแล้วเฮากำลังว่าถึงหัวข้อของคำว่า social enterprise เนาะคำว่า social enterprise หลายคนเคยได้ยินแต่หลายคนก็ยังงงว่าสรุปมันเป็นอีหยังกันแท้เนาะฉะนั้นมื้อนี้เฮาจะมาหาคำตอบกันว่า social enterprise นี่แม่นหยังโดยที่แขกรับเชิญเฮาในมื้อนี้เพิ่นจะมาแชร์ว่าแล้วอยู่ในออสเตรเลียนี่ social enterprise เป็นแนวใดและอีกข้อนึงที่เฮาจะล้มกันนั่นก็คือล้มกันถึงเรื่องของ social media เฮาจะเฮ็ดแนวใดใช้ social media ให้มันเข้าถึงธุรกิจได้ให้มันช่วยซัพพอร์ตธุรกิจเฮาได้ฉะนั้นผู้ใดที่ว่ากำลังเบิ่งในตอนนี้มีคำถามสามารถส่งคำถามเข้ามาได้เนาะแต่ว่าขออนุญาตเนาะ1ชั่วโมงนี้ดีเจต้องได้เว้าเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเพราะว่าแขกรับเชิญเฮาเพิ่นเป็นคนออสเตรเลียบ่ทราบท่านผู้ฟัง Ladies and gentlemen it's my pleasure it's my honor to welcome this wonderful guest she's Australian she is a social entrepreneur she's the young Australia of a year Queensland finalist 2019 and ATF top 10 women of influence Whoa, man, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Mikhara Ramsing! Hello, Mikhara. Sabadi. Good job.
Thank you.
Sabadi, Mikhara, how are you doing?
Very well. Very excited to be here. My first time in Laos, and I think it's my favorite country to visit.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone is so lovely, and the lab, I can't stop eating it.
Me too. It's my favorite dish, actually.
Really? You'll have to tell me where the best place to
Of course. Of course.
I want to eat it for breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's so good.
Thank you for loving Lao food and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me and thank you to the Laoyouth Union and the Australian Now program run by the Australian Embassy and Social Good Outpost. It's a real honor to be here and to work with the young people in Laos.
It's lovely. It's very lovely. So Mikhara, welcome to the station again. So this 1 hour we're talking about the word social enterprise. So the word itself is kind of a little bit complicated for many people. And I'm sure not many people exactly know what it is. So today you're going to reveal the secrets of the social enterprise. And then also we were talking about social media. How can we use social media in the business, in the general business or the social enterprise as well. So before that, could you please introduce yourself to our listeners out there? Who you are, what are you doing for a living, or are there anything else that you want to tell our listeners, please?
Thank you, Dan, and thank you again for everyone for listening in. I'm looking forward to talking to these topics. So I actually grew up in South Africa, and my ethnicity is Indian, so I'm South African Indian. And when I was 14, my parents immigrated to Australia with myself, my 2 younger sisters, my little brother. And now I've been living in Australia for 14 years. So I say I'm a South African Indian Australian. And
so diversity.
Social enterprise, it's very close to my heart because in South Africa, when I was living there as an Indian person, it was under an apartheid rule where the government would openly discriminate against people of color and white people. And my grandfather, who is an Indian man, he owned a dry cleaners and a plastic factory. And he used business to open spaces for Indian communities to access education. And he was able through business to then pay for people to go to school, go to university and use education to break the poverty cycle. So from a young age, this idea of business being used for good was planted. And he would never say he's a social entrepreneur or his business was a social enterprise. But that's what it was doing. It was using business for good. So even though after high school I studied law and economics and I worked as an economist for 1 year, I knew I always wanted to start my own business. So I was very lucky that my parents were supportive of this. So after only 1 year of working a corporate job in Sydney in Australia and my work was supportive, I left and quit full-time, saved up enough money and started 2 enterprises.
Wow, that's awesome.
Both are centered around my passions.
Okay.
So one passion is I love tea, Indian tea, chai. And actually in Australia, the biggest killer of young people there is suicide.
Okay.
So I was very concerned about this and it kept me up at night. And I thought, I don't want to lose my friends to suicide. So I started to sell my tea and we would have conversation starters around the tea, a question.
Really?
So the idea was you would make some chai for your friend and you would talk about what is a story you've been wanting to share or what is something you are happy for in your life.
Okay.
And we try to encourage people to talk because a lot of Australian youth are too used to only being on their phones and they were not having real life conversations. So that is Mix Chai, named after my nickname, Mix. And I want to sell chai now also in the Asia Pacific to help young people all around the region. And the second business I run is a personal story and one that helped me. So through my journey, I realized as well that I identified as sexual and gender diverse. And it was very hard bringing my parents who are traditional and Indian culture where you don't have representation of lesbian Indian women. And I was met with a lot of fear, a lot of misunderstanding. And they told me, this is something you learnt in Australia. This is a Western concept. It was very confusing for me as a young person to think I had to choose to be Indian or I could be gay. And I realized, no, this wasn't a choice. And there were many young Australians like me who were feeling that. So my second enterprise was Australia's first online platform for stories of those who identified as ethnic or culturally, linguistically diverse and LGBTIQ. And so we work rurally and try to help as many young people to be allies, to support, and to also hear stories so they have role models. So that's my background. I've been doing that for 2 years and I'm honored to work in this region with the social entrepreneurs here and ran many workshops with the Australia Now program with great organizations like Stella and Her Works, and I'm so inspired by the young people here.
Wow, for 2 years of running a social enterprise and you came up with the 2 social enterprises. What?
I like to keep busy.
That's amazing.
Thank you, Da.
That's amazing. So the questions of me, so in every first step that you decided I'm gonna start some business, so did you realize that that's a social enterprise?
Yes, no, that's a good question. The term in Australia is very new as well. And like I said, my grandfather wouldn't have called his business a social enterprise.
He calls business, right?
Yes, but perhaps I'll answer that first question now. What is a social enterprise? A good way to think about it is a social enterprise has the business mind of a business, but the heart of a charity. So, for example, if you think of a scale, on one end you have your for-profit, your proprietary limited, your companies, those like your banks, your accounting. They just sell chocolate or they just sell food. And on the other end you have your not-for-profits. So they don't sell anything, they rely on government money,
The
aid
charity,
money,
the donation.
Yes. Social enterprise is in the middle.
Okay.
So, for profit, you take one step in, that's corporate social responsibility. Now that is a business where in its constitution, it still exists to make money first.
Okay.
So it has a duty to its shareholders, it still has to profit maximize. But if you take one more step in the middle, social enterprise is about impact maximization.
Okay.
So in your constitution, you will say, for example, there's 3 ways we define it in Australia. You're a social enterprise depending on the people you employ, for example. So if you employ marginalized groups, so for example, a restaurant in Brisbane only employs refugee women.
Okay.
So by training and employing marginalized group, they are social enterprise. Second way is if you sell something and you donate at least 50% of your profits. In Australia, we have a water company called Thank You Water. Every bottle of water you buy, 100% of the profit goes to providing water for people in developing countries. So that's a social enterprise.
Okay.
All of their products' profit is going to the cause, not just for dividends and corporate social responsibility. It's not another thought in the budget. It's why the whole business exists. A third way you can be a social enterprise is if you train people from marginalized communities, like Stella, who is encouraging other young people to be social entrepreneurs.
I see.
So that is how I understand social enterprise. And
there are some criteria to understand like which business is a real business, is a general business, or is it a social enterprise.
yes.
I see. But I'm kind of curious in Australia, the concept or the word social enterprise, it's popular now, or
Yes. So actually
how's the trend there?
So actually in Queensland, the province, the state where I'm from, myself and my friends were the first people to run a social enterprise conference. That was in 2014.
It's going to be big.
Yes. And that time many young people like myself were like, what is this word? We know we would really love doing charity, but we also wanted to earn money, and we also wanted to create a career. And this word social enterprise really appealed to us. Now it's very popular, and the government actually has funding, grants for social enterprises. But it took time. Whereas in Europe and in the UK, it's much more progressed.
I see.
But don't get too caught up in definitions either. I think that can be damaging too. I think any business that is sustainable, is making money, but using most of its money for impact, that is a social enterprise.
I see. But why? Why in business? Why it's business in this way? It's important. Why our world need social enterprise, not just only the general business?
That's a great question, Da. I think now more than ever, and especially a lot of young people, everything has reached a crisis point with our climate, with our poverty, with the pollution. We are actually scared about, will the next generation have clean water and blue skies to look at? A lot of these problems has come about because of just chasing money. A lot of us want meaning in our lives. So a global survey found that millennials will actually quit a job if it doesn't align with their values. So they're not just chasing money or job security, they are wanting things that are meaningful to them. And a business that is using money to change good, which is using consumerism, which we are so used to effect change, is needed. It's important that we tackle it from a business side, because at the end of the day, we all need to eat, we all need to pay the rent, but why not imagine a supermarket where you walk in and everything you take off the shelf, from your bread, your milk, your chocolate, your vegetables, why shouldn't some of that money go towards helping someone in need? Imagine if we could fund change in this way, instead of just relying on charity, which can be exhausting and doesn't measure the aims as well. If we're used to just receiving money, it's very hard to measure the impact of money. But a social enterprise makes it accountable, because I know I have to sell $15 of chai to make $5 of difference. I have to measure that return on investment.
I see.
And I want to keep measuring that. If someone just gave me $15, I might not be as concerned.
It's time.
Yes, it's time.
It's time for the social enterprise important in this world, because we reach to the point that there are so many crises happens around the world, everything. So we need the mindset of business, but the result that bring the positive impact to the society.
That's completely right, Da. And that's social enterprise. Mindset of business, heart of a charity.
I see. But could you please give us a little bit of concrete example?
Okay.
Many people now, I think they do understand a little bit, this is called social enterprise, but could you please give us the example that we can relate of social enterprise that exist in this world?
Yes, so in Laos there's so many restaurants that are training people who find hard to access employment. There's Stella, which provides camps. Her works, which helps ethnic minority women by getting their goods in front of tourists, in front of locals. That money is supporting women who traditionally won't access employment. There's another enterprise, Antana, which a new enterprise that I met the other day, which tries to get funding for social enterprise. Examples from Australia, there's well, my own enterprises.
Okay, sure.
So,
sure.
Mixed Chai, where we sell tea and
Tea.
we fund suicide prevention organizations. See, we're selling the tea to make the impact. We're not just selling the tea to make money and then donate maybe 1%, 10%, like corporate social responsibility. We exist because we want to end youth suicide. Another example from Australia that's very well known is called Thank You Water.
Thank you, water.
And they also sell muesli bars, soap. Every product you buy, 100% of their profit goes towards providing someone in need. Yeah.
So how they can generate their income or their business?
Yes. So the way they do that is they have a company, and the company is owned by a charity.
Okay.
So the money goes to the charity, and they still pay salaries, wages, invest in growth. But everything left over, that's a donation. So the business can grow, but also any profit left over is not paid to shareholders. There's no equity, there's no dividends, which is what a for-profit does.
I see.
Another funny example from Australia is a toilet paper company.
Yeah. I want to know more about that.
So they are called, excuse my language, who gives a crap?
Okay. Okay.
They say everyone needs toilet paper.
Exactly, yeah.
But actually 800 children a day are dying because they don't have access to a toilet.
Okay.
So that's one child every 2 minutes. So what they do is they sell toilet paper in Australia, and then 50% of their profits builds toilets in Africa.
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
they exist to end children death because of lack of toilets. And how they're doing that is with toilet paper. So that's some examples of social enterprise. They exist first to solve the social problem, and they'll sell anything. For example, Thank You started with water, but now it's muesli bars, hand lotion. It's trading to exist, to fulfill that social purpose, not just to grow the company.
In your opinion, do you think any products or any services can turn to be a social enterprise?
That I do believe in that. I think that's the dream. I think, why not? People, especially the younger generation, we are very aware of where is our coffee coming from. I want to make sure everyone is being paid fairly in that process, ethical. I want to know I'm not damaging the environment. I think this generation, as it gets older, is demanding more from business. I think every business has the potential, because there's only a certain point where money can bring you happiness, right? Why not use money to solve social problems so everyone can experience that? I think every business can do this.
That's a very good insight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
so
you,
maybe
Dara.
we can, if you're a business owner right now, maybe you can think about how can you make impact in your own business way.
Yes.
If you are running your restaurant, maybe you will think about more about the impact that you can give to the society.
Who are you employing?
Exactly.
Maybe 1 out of your 10 staff is someone who finds it hard to get a job, or homeless person, or marginalized group, or where are you getting your products from? Maybe you can support social enterprises. I'm holding an event, I'll get the catering from a social enterprise. Or these are all ways you can support with business.
Cool. And how social media,
Yes.
as is very powerful, it's very impactful in nowadays lifestyle. So how does social enterprise impact business, especially for the social enterprise?
Yes. Social media is a very powerful tool.
Exactly.
Especially for young people, where in Australia, they will get all their news information from their Facebook feed. They won't turn on the TV. So what is happening on social media is very important. And after the break, I'll talk about the trends in social media. But for now, if you are a business, you need to have a Facebook page. And you need to be using Facebook Live.
Like us.
You guys are all over it. But social media can also help you start your business. There's a great example from that company in Australia, Who Gives a Crap.
Okay.
So what he did is he needed $50,000 to start his first run of toilet paper.
Okay.
So what he did is he actually went into a warehouse.
Okay.
He put his Facebook Live feed on, and he sat on the toilet. And he Facebook Lived radio interviews, TV interviews, and he said, please help me get off the toilet. Please donate to my company. And in 50 hours, he raised $50,000.
Seriously?
So he used social media.
Seriously?
Yes! And very uncomfortable. He sat there, you could see his pants here. And he said, please help me get off the toilet. I want to stop children dying from lack of toilets. So please donate. Everyone was laughing and they were jumping online. So think about what context is appropriate.
Okay.
But a second way that a social enterprise used social media.
Okay.
They wanted to get their water, thank you water, into all our big shops. So they asked young people, go into the shop, open your phone, film a video of you asking for our products and say why and hashtag I choose thank you.
Okay.
Suddenly all their advertising was done free. They had these young people walking in saying, where is my bottle of water to help other people? I choose thank you.
Okay.
The shops then are like, oh my goodness, all our customers.
The customer needs. So I need to bring this brand of water to the supermarket.
Social media is very cool. And a third example, if we have time,
please,
where you can take social media into the real world. So Airbnb, which is a big company from America, it operates in Laoyouth. It's where if you own a home, you can advertise your home or a room in your home for people to rent. They were very supportive in the Australian and the American marriage equality. And what they did is they sent everyone a ring, but the ring had a gap in it.
Okay.
And all they posted was, until we all belong, saying, until this ring is closed, we will have a gap. Now, that took their social media campaign into the real world. So when you saw people wearing this ring, you're like, I know what they stand for. And if you didn't, you just didn't know. But it was how a physical object, like a ring, could go from their Facebook campaign into the homes of people and you could see it. It was a very cool use of social media where you can take things from the internet and see them in real life.
Oh, that's very interesting examples. And what about your own social enterprise?
Yes.
So did you use any social media
Definitely.
ways to promote or to engage the audience?
Yes. So in my chai company and also in my LGBT company, it's quite sensitive topics. And we find with the LGBT company, a lot of our people are on secret Facebook groups because they don't want to be known. And we try to help them by using academic articles and we let them just post in the secret groups. But with my chai company, we have an Instagram page and we're trying to reduce any stigma around youth mental health in Australia. So we ask people to take a video or take a photo of them enjoying our chai and to answer our questions. And they got a hashtag stories save lives, hashtag mixed chai. And we share their stories so other people know they're not alone. So that's how we use social media, especially Instagram is very popular in Australia. So we use that more than Facebook. And we use Twitter for any serious things we want to say or statistics. But mainly we like the creativity of Instagram because we love photos at our company. So we like to take photos of us drinking chai in the sun, chai by the beach, in the mountains. And that's how we use social media.
You can enjoy the tea anywhere, anytime.
And share a story with anyone.
Oh, I love the idea. So also get back a little bit about your very first idea of this social enterprise.
Yes.
So why tea? So why telling the stories? Why?
So thank you for asking that. Because it was a process. The first thing that helped me, I really recommend YouTubing Simon Sinek.
Okay, I know him.
Yes.
You always start with the question why.
Yes, start with why. So I did that. 3 years ago, I sat down. I'm like, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do this? And what I wanted to do was help high school students. I love working with 15, 16-year-olds. I wanted to teach them about business. But I found in the schools, a lot of them couldn't afford a workshop. The school couldn't pay $5 per student. So I thought, okay, what can I make and sell that I can pay for them? And chai was something I knew. And it was cheap. You know, I could buy the tea leaves, buy the cardamom, buy the cloves, but make really delicious chai that was, you know, we don't use plastic in our chai. We source everything ethically. It has very good health benefits for people with the Ayurvedic properties. And I thought this is a great thing to sell. So I started selling the chai and the profits would then pay for these kids to access workshops. So that's how the chai came about. I wanted to work with young people. I couldn't afford to work with them.
And you love tea.
And I love tea. I did something I knew how to do.
that's great. So you start very easy. You start with something you're familiar with.
Yes.
Combine with the thing that you want to help.
Yes.
And then boom.
Yes.
Social enterprise happens.
You only need 3 things to start a business, right?
Okay. What's that?
Here's the secret. And then you just have to start, because the problem is a lot of us get too caught up on thinking. So my first business was poetry, actually, because I just wanted to start. So you need a product, a good or a service. So poetry, chai, stories. You need a way for people to find you. So social media, accounts. I learned how to write a website. I went on YouTube, said, how do I make a website? And the third thing, how to pay you. Okay. So I opened a free PayPal account. So those 3 things is all you need. Then start.
Okay.
Start. My poetry business, I made $30. That's all. But I learned so much just by doing those things. So those are key lessons for you. You only need 3 things to start a business. The 4th thing for social enterprise, how you helping people.
I see. So that's very easy steps,
Yes.
a baby steps
Yes.
of starting a business, any business that you want. And if you want to make it to be a social enterprise, add the value, add the impact into that.
And it's an advantage, actually, because more and more people want to buy from social enterprise.
Yes.
So it's a secret advantage. I almost feel guilty because, of course, if I'm meeting my competitors on price, on value, and I'm doing impact, why wouldn't I get chosen then? So it's a very profitable thing to do as well. It makes business sense.
Wow, it's very, very interesting. I love the way that you create your own social enterprise, and the example that you share with us. It's very informative and very useful for Lao people who want to start this kind of the business.
Yes.
So I think we should take a little bit break, because next break we will talk more about the social media again, and how can we communicate effectively to the customers, to the people who give us the money, let them know who we are, what are we doing, and the trend.
Yes.
The trend in the future.
Great. Let's have some tea and come back.
Let's take a tea break.
Tea break. Thank you.
Okay, let's listen a very short song. I know you love hip hop.
I do love hip hop.
So I try my best to choose a best hip hop song that I personally like it.
Yes. I want some Lao hip hop.
So this song it's หอม it's like หอม and smells good.
Cool. Like our chai.
Okay, yes. มาฟังผลงานเพลงนี้กันก่อนเนาะ Don't go anywhere, guys. If you have any questions that you want to ask Mikhara, please feel free to do so. We are live on the Facebook Live. I know many people are watching us, but somehow you may be shy to ask the question, but say anything. Say hi, say hello.
Please do. Say hello.
Say hello to Mikhara. So we will right back after the break. This song waits that. This song, it's ready. Stay put, guys. Welcome back, everyone. No, จบไปแล้วสำหรับผลงาน So do you want to answer his question?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I อันนั้นถามว่า can underrepresented community like disabled people and LGBTI be engaged in social enterprise? Any advice you could provide?
Definitely. Thank you for the question. In fact, it's often those who are marginalized that end up starting the most inspirational social enterprises because they understand the challenges from lived experience and they know what will really help. See, when we see problems in society, it's like an iceberg. You're only seeing the top 10%. But those who experience that have that 90% of lived experience. They know the causes. For example, when I told my parents that I am LGBT, I met with a lot of fear. So you just see the fear. But why they were scared is they didn't have positive role models. They don't have representation. I was able to start my social enterprise, ethnic LGBT, to address those concerns, to create a YouTube channel, give video content, to interview parents. We sell merchandise to fund that. we sell tickets to events we host to people come and talk about all issues, about financial literacy, legal responsibility, not just LGBTI, because it's only one part of the identity. It's a whole person. So social enterprise run by marginalized groups are often the best because they understand the problems firsthand. And I really encourage them to start business as a way to empower themselves. You just need those 4 things. Anyone can do it.
Yeah. No, that's a very good answer. I hope that Mikhara answer your question. No, I and no. And this question, I'm not sure that you want to answer this or not. This person asked, มีแฟนแล้วหวะ which means, are you dating with someone?
Oh, I'm very flattered. I'm sorry, my friend. I'm engaged to be married 2021.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. My family helping me plan a big Indian wedding, which is very amazing. I'm very lucky. And you're all invited, so come to Australia.
We all support your own air tickets, okay,
yes.
guys?
But good food. Come.
Okay, that's very interesting questions. Thank you all of you out there to send us the reaction, send us the comments and all the questions. Okay, let's continue with the topic of us, the social enterprise. How can we engage the audience in social enterprise to promote our business?
Yes.
Last break, we touched on a little bit about how does social enterprise impact the business, and you give us the very good example of many businesses use the social enterprise, use the social media.
Yes.
And for now, I'll be asking about what advice do you have for communicating effectively in business and specifically social enterprise?
Yes. So a few points here. I think firstly, I'd like to start by explaining some of the trends in social media that we are seeing. So the first trend we've noticed, this is from a global study done by Facebook, and the data showed that people are 5 times more likely to watch a video than a picture. So video is the first big trend. When you are scrolling through your feed and you see a video and the first 1.5 seconds is engaging or different, I'll watch that more than a photo. A photo, I'll just keep scrolling. The second trend is 3 billion of the world's population is on mobile, not laptop, not an iPad. So when you are creating your marketing content for your business, create it with the phone in mind first.
Wow.
So your layout should be more conducive to a mobile than a website.
I see.
Then you follow up to the website. That's the second big trend.
Okay.
And Laos leads the way, actually. More people are doing business on their mobile than in Australia. So especially in Laos, you have an advantage. You know how to create content for the mobile. The third big trend that Facebook found was people prefer comedy on Facebook like memes. So they rather send memes and communicate with emojis. So images and short sentences are more popular than long text. Even if the text is personal. You know how we like to read personal stories?
Yeah.
But people are sending articles instead. They'll forward articles or they'll send a meme. So
I love memes.
Yeah. Every time I wake up in the morning, first thing, meme. I send to my sister. That's how we communicate.
Especially the meme with a one lady and a cat.
Yes! Have you seen Grumpy Cat?
It's very fun.
That cat is famous. But
it's very interesting.
Yes.
We use this one to advertise our business.
Yes, readers love memes and witty memes. The fourth trend, which I'm seeing in social media, and this one's a bit scary, they're not using real people anymore. Instead, they're using digital people. For example, there's an Instagram account called Lil, L-I-L, Michaela. She is a completely created character. She has 1.7 million followers.
Seriously.
And they make her act like a teenage girl. So she's talking about relationship. She's talking about her education. What they do is companies like Samsung have used her in her advertising. So this design studio owns her. She's been in Calvin Klein ads, Samsung ads. She's not a person. Soon we're going to have movies just with digital people. So think in your business, maybe you should be creating avatars, digital people. KFC, the chicken, we're starting to use Colonel Sanders as a digital because he'll never age. and he won't be caught doing anything that would embarrass them. That's the next big trend, using digital avatars for advertising.
Wow, interesting.
Really interesting and scary too, because you know a person can filter, but a digital thing will say whatever you type in. That's a bit scary.
Wow, that's very useful. That's very, very useful if you want to make your business popular in social media.
Yes.
That's 4 trends.
Yes.
You can just adapt or adjust to your own business.
Yes.
What are the things that the most suitable for all you? You can use that.
And different platforms have different. So your second question, which was marketing, communication, the thing you need to know the most is who is your customer and where do they hang out. So for example, with our chai, our main customers tend to be women.
Okay.
They tend to be women in their 20s and 30s. They are often either married or single. They tend to buy a chai in the afternoon, 3 o'clock. They like coffee in the morning. Then, so we have to be so specific. We know, okay, they tend to hang out on their Instagram more than Facebook. So marketing, first thing you need to do is really think, what does your customer look like? And when are they looking at their social media? They're looking in the morning, they want to see inspiration, quote. They're looking after work, they're tired, they want to see funny, they want to laugh, they don't really want read motivation. So when you are crafting your messages, always think about your customer and when are they looking at their social media and what social media.
I see. Yeah. Know who is your customers,
Yes.
know your services and products,
Yes.
know the best way to advertise and effectively communicate with them.
And
That's the
remember,
key.
it changes. So you have to, it's not, unfortunately, business takes energy, but when you are solving a social problem, it's sales. And a business needs sales. I used to hate picking up the phone and calling. This year, I've brought in a business partner into each business. I had to let go of control, which was a big thing.
Good thing.
But now it means when I'm sitting here, my business doesn't stop. I have someone who cares, who's going. You have to do it as a team again. I like this quote. It says, hire out your weaknesses. You don't have to do everything.
Cool.
Those are my 2 big learnings from business.
See. Find
For music, check out Patreon. Patreon.
Okay.
It allows creative people to have followers who can pay $1 a month, $10 a month to support your art. A lot of YouTube stars and animators, they use that digital tool.
Wow, that's so cool.
And then financially, what helped me to send invoices, keep track of my inventory is Xero, Xero, or FreshBooks. Xero, a bit more expensive, but it allows me, who doesn't have accounting background, to easily keep track of the money and the sales and forecast. And then I used PayPal because it was free, and I could, yes, they charge a fee, but it meant people trusted their credit card details with PayPal.
Yeah.
So those are some of the tools I've used to help with the business.
Well, that's very interesting. So, in reality, they have so many resources available for that, or for people who want to start their own business. So you have a lot of tools available. Just like take your time to search.
Yeah.
And
what
you will
works.
find it out.
Yes. What works for you? My friends use different tools, but use what is intuitive to you, what is making sense to you, or rather to the ecosystem you're working in.
Yeah.
So especially the network effect of using tools, because that's very helpful too.
Wow, that's very useful. Thank you so much for
thank you,
sharing.
Dra.
I'm sure many people will rewatch like in this part and then okay, I will search on
Write
Google.
down.
What is that and learn how to use this. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you, Dra.
sharing. Wow, that's such an amazing talk since the beginning until now. I know time flies, but
Went so quickly.
it's so quick. We have only probably 4 minutes
Yes.
to go, but I still have one
Sure.
activity left.
Oh, great. Oh, no. This is a tough one, isn't? I saw.
You saw something in my eyes,
Yeah.
right? I have the special
Oh,
things for you.
no.
Dun, 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 dun. This is called Super Challenging Question.
Okay.
Please draw one
okay.
question and I will translate for you.
Thank you.
And you
Okay.
need to answer this
Ooh, scary.
fast
Okay.
as possible.
Okay.
โอเค สิ่งใดที่ท่านเคยคิดว่ามันสุดยอดหลายแต่ตัวอย่างน้อยแต่ปัจจุบันมันบ่คักแล้ว Oh gosh. Diana, you want to help me to translate it?
If it's too tough, it's okay. It's okay.
No, it's not. It's asking about what other things when you were shy you thought that oh my god it's so awesome. It's a very amazing. But for now your mindset change, your opinion change. It's not that cool anymore.
Yes.
What's that thing? And why?
Yes. So, I loved the car racing game Need for Speed and Top Gear. And when I was 10 years old, I cut a photo of a Maserati and a Ferrari and I stuck it on my wall. I said, I want that car. That is success. I'm going to drive. I then found out that car doesn't have aircon, doesn't have a radio. And then when I turned 20, I was like, why am I chasing this expensive car? That's so silly. It doesn't even have aircon or radio. How will I listen to my hip-hop beats? And just how my definition of success changed.
I see.
And how I realized success was being there for my family, being there for the people who matter, being able to support them emotionally and financially, and having people.
Not the car anymore.
Not the car. I still would like a Ferrari one day. But people first, health and people. Because without your health, without your loved ones, what point is a fancy car?
Oh gosh. That's a signal of being a mature. You realize the life more. You know people, your family. It's value more than anything
Definitely.
else. Oh my god.
But it's funny, as a kid you want the flashy things, but as you get older, now I'm so grateful to my mom. As a teenager we would fight, but now I'm so grateful for all she's done for me.
Right. Absolutely agree. Wow, that's a great answer.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now you can relieve. You already answered the question.
But thank you so much to all the listeners, and thank you for having me here in your beautiful country. I really believe Australia and Laos can work great together to solve the problems in our region.
Oh, thank you. Please come back anytime.
Thank you. I would love that. And come visit.
Always support you.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. ขอบใจหลายเนาะขอบใจทุกคนพร้อม Thank you so much everybody for watching and listening. I know time flies. 1 hour is just like very quick, just the blink of an eye. But before we say goodbye, thank you so much again for our sponsors Coca-Cola เนาะน้ำทิพย์ก็ได้ Coca-Cola ก็ได้ Taste the feeling อันขอบใจมายัง Sky Telecom 1833ถ้าอยากได้อินเทอร์เน็ตที่แบบไวๆ smooth แบบนี้1833 Sky Telecom ขอบใจมายัง English is great to support us. Thank you so much. And thank you our special guest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. สำหรับวันนี้เวลาหมดเวลาเนาะค่ะพระเจ้าดีเจได้อย่างพิพากษ์กันไหนขอโทษขออภัยเนาะพบกันใหม่โอกาสหน้า See you next time. For today we need to say goodbye guys. So bye. Have a good night. Bye.